जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचशीला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचशीला भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचशीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंस शिल गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिशिला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पादकमला श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं सग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol. We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, Rishabdev. He gave kingdom to Bharat, his eldest son. Then he was like a mad, and then he also went around, and then people, they passed urine on him and all this, and he was in his own stool, and it was good fragrance. All this we heard. So in this way, Lord Rishabdev followed the behavior of cows, deer and crows. Sometimes he moved or walked, and sometimes he sat down in one place. Sometimes he lay down, behaving exactly like cows, deer and crows. In that way he ate, drank, passed stool and urine, and cheated the people in this way. They were thinking he is mad. So in that way he cheated them, because they could not recognize him. Yes. Since the general public could not appreciate his behavior and mystic yoga practice, they began to disturb him. To cheat them, he behaved like crows, cows and deer. Iti nana yoga charya charano bhagavan kaivalya patirishabho virata parama mahanandanu bhava atmani sarve shambhutanam atma bhute bhagavati vasudeva atmano vyavadhanananta rodara bhavena siddha samastartha paripurno yoga ishwaryani vaihayasamano javantardhana parakaya praveshadura grahanadini yadrichayo pagatani nanjasa nripa hridayena vyanandat. This is also prose. O King Parikshit, just to show all the yogis the mystic process, Lord Rishabdev, the partial expansion of Lord Krishna, performed wonderful activities. Actually, he was the master of liberation and was fully absorbed in transcendental bliss, which increased 1,000-fold. Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva, is the original source of Lord Rishabdev. There is no difference in their constitution, and consequently Lord Rishabdev awakened the loving symptoms of crying, laughing and shivering. He was always absorbed in transcendental love. Due to this, all mystic powers automatically approached him, such as the ability to travel in outer space at the speed of mind, to appear and disappear, to enter the bodies of others, and to see things far, far away. Although he could do all this, he did not exercise these powers. These are yogic powers. So he could do, but did not do. Devotees generally they don't show any such powers, though they can use them if necessary for the service of Krishna. But he was crying, laughing and shivering like ecstatical symptoms he had. Always absorbed in transcendental love. He is Bhagavan, but he is also doing like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is serving Krishna, but difference is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Nandanan Krishna himself, and he is in the mood of highest devotee, that is Radharani. That is difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shankaracharya, he was traveling everywhere and he defeated everyone in debate because he is Acharya, Shiva. So, but one place he came and there was one king and he defeated him, but wife said, I forgot how it was. Wife said, no, you did not win me. You have to debate with me on Kama Shastra. Then I don't know what happened. That same king died, or in Shankaracharya entered into some another dead king, dead body, and he by mystic power, and he got all those experiences because he's brahmachari. But only entering that body, he automatically understood all those things. Then he debated with that queen, and he defeated her also in Kama Shastra. So here, to enter the bodies of others and to see things far, far away. But devotees, as we saw, Sridhar Pandit, though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered him all 18 mystic powers, but he never accepted. He said, I want only your service. Devotees, they want only this, because they know, they have taste of service of Krishna. Nothing else attracts them. Oh, this is the end of this chapter. Then next chapter 6, the activities of Lord Rishabdev. Rajovach Nanunam Bhagava Atmaramanam Yoga Samirita Jnana Va Bharjita Karma Bijanam Aishwaryani Punah Kleshadani Bhavitum Arhanti Yadri Chayo Pagatani. There is one English word, but I forgot. Some people, they can enter into someone's body, and they can also, I forgot something in relation to this, but there was one term in English, like walk in or something. Yes, walk in souls. They walk into some other body, and then they enter there, that body, and they can get experiences. And that previous soul leaves the body. Like just before that soul is supposed to go out, like some young man, but his karma is that he will die. So when that old soul leaves, then within certain period of time, some soul who is waiting, or their ghost body or something, they will, at that moment, they will enter. And the others will not notice that that old soul left, that man died, and the new soul entered, because they see he's alive, but he's a little different behavior and like this, but they think he's same person, but he's not same person. There is one spiritual group, they are researching this. Walk-in souls. Old soul leaves, and within that moment, new one enters, and it looks like he did not die, though he died, but again became alive. It very quickly happens. A new person is there inside, but same body. Some time ago, I was reading about this, and they are explaining those experiences, because those who are walk-in souls, later on, they say that I walked into that body. They admit, they can remember, they are conscious of that they entered into that body. That was not originally their body into which they were born, but they entered into that. Walk in. So many things happening. King Parikshit asked Shukadev Goswami, "My dear Lord, for those who are completely pure in heart, knowledge is attained by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, and attachment for fruitive activity is completely burned to ashes. For such people, the powers of mystic yoga automatically arise. They do not cause distress. Why then did Rishabdev neglect them?" Our Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj, he told, you have to chant, you have to repeat Namam, means you have to chant Harinam without offenses, then you will get all knowledge will be revealed in your heart, because Harinam is not different from Hari. Hari is all knowledge, so everything will be revealed in your heart. All answers to your questions you will get, all doubts will be removed, everything you will get by chanting. And here it is written, all mystic powers will also come, but devotees, they are not using unless it is necessary for the service of Krishna. So he is asking, these yoga siddhis, they don't cause distress, so why he neglected them? Rishi Ruvach, Satyam uktam kintu ihava ekena manasoda vishrambham anavastanasya shatakirata iva sangha chante. Srila Shukadev Goswami replied, my dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch the mind's action. Though you controlled, but it's not over yet. So you have to be careful. Up to bhava and prema stage, you have to be careful about the mind. Tata choktam na kuryat karhichit sakyam manasi hyanavastite yat vishrambachira chirnam chashkanda tapa aishwaram. All the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless, and one should not make friends with it. If we place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna, and Saubhari Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection. Only if you are completely surrendered to Krishna, Krishna blessed you, He is protecting you, then your mind will be like your servant, always obedient to you, by Krishna's grace. Otherwise, by your own effort, you cannot control, and even if you control, He will always try to divert you. So you should not put confidence in mind. He may cheat you at any time. Our Bhakti Sansar Thakur also wrote that song, "Oh my mind, what kind of Vaishnav you are. You want to do solitary bhajan for name and fame, but you should know that solitary bhajan will be only cheating." And our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote one songbook, Kalyan Kalpataru. That is mostly that whole. There are songs how he is instructing his mind. Mind, don't do this. This is not like Mayava, don't accept all this. Teaching to the mind. Raghunath Das Goswami also gave Manak Shiksha, so we have to be careful about our mind. We should engage him in the service of Krishna. And here example, though Shiva and Saubhari Muni, they played such pastime to show that you cannot trust the mind. Shiva is yogi, of course the best Vaishnava, but sometimes playing the part of yogi. So here he was also attracted to Mohini, and Saubhari Rishi also, he's a yogi or Jnani. He was also attracted to those ladies, but both they came to senses after and they surrendered to Krishna, then they were okay. Nityam dadati kamasya chidram tam anu ye rajaha yoginah krita maitrasya patyur jayeva pungschali. An unchaste woman is very easily carried away by paramours, and it sometimes happens that her husband is violently killed by her paramours. If the yogi gives his mind a chance and does not restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemies like lust, anger, and greed, and they will doubtlessly kill the yogi. Automatically, mind will lean towards that side, and he will create so many doubts. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, "How you can stand in front of me without any fear? Everyone is afraid of me. I have conquered the 3 worlds. Everyone is afraid of me. Why you are not afraid of me?" Then Prahlad said, "You are saying you conquered the 3 worlds, but I can see you did not conquer your own mind. And this lust, anger, greed, you did not conquer. How you can say you conquered 3 worlds?" Because he was not devoted to Krishna, then you cannot conquer mind. And Alexander the Great also came to India after conquering all Iraq, Iran, everything he conquered. He came to India and he wanted to conquer, but he met one Kalyan Baba, yogi. So Kalyan Baba asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am Alexander the Great. I conquered all direction, everything I conquered, so I'm great." Then that Kalyan Baba smiled and said, "You did not even conquer your mind. How you could conquer anything? You did not conquer your mind." Then this touched the heart of Alexander the Great. Then he also became interested into spiritual practice, because that Kalyan Baba was a realized soul. He knew what he's speaking. Because when you get transcendental realization, that time you are conscious of your mind. You can see your mind. You can see what is your gross body, what is your subtle body, what is mind. You are aware of it because you are watching him from the spiritual platform. So one who has that realization, if he speaks about this, then that can awaken you, touch you. So that helped Alexander the Great. Kamo manur mado lobaha shoka moha bhaya dayaha karma bandas chayan mula sikuryat konu tadbudaha. The mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. Combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind? Here Supriya is asking. It is song book named Kalyan Kalpataru, like book, and then there are songs inside. So those songs are, most of those songs are teaching to the mind. Like for example, Ore mon bhalo nahi lage e sangsar. Oh my mind, I don't like this worldly existence, this world. Then he is explaining all here is everything is temporary, all relations. And those who are demons, they think the goal of life is sense gratification, but ultimately they also meet death. And so my mind, you please give up all other desires, you surrender to Guru and seek for ultimate goal, like different songs there for mind. Very nice. And from Kalyan Kalpataru, I think also that those famous songs we are singing in Gauriya Mata, many for Vaishnavas also, that Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Kobe Shri Chaitanya More Kore Benandoya, I think that is from Kalyan Kalpataru. Actually, our Gurudev told us, when I was new in the mat, that time my Gurudev, he took me to many places for preaching in Assam, because Parangudev was preaching in Assam in the beginning, because Prabhupada told him to do so. So Gurudev was traveling with our Parangurudev, and his service was he has to write letters on the dictation of Parangurudev. Parangurudev will reply disciples' questions, and our Gurudev had to write because his handwriting is very beautiful. So Gurudev said that was very beneficial for me, because I came to know all different questions and also replies to those questions from my Gurudev directly. And then Gurudev said, then we were traveling for 1 year, then in one house in Assam, I was writing letter, he was dictating. Then in the middle of that letter, suddenly my Gurudev told, you stop. You bring Kalyan Kalpataru songbook here and you start reading. Then our Gurudev was surprised. Why? In the middle of the letter it happened. Like not even finishing in the middle. So you stop, you bring that. Then our Gurudev brought that Kalyan Kalpataru and was reading in front of Parangurudev. And he said, I was reading. Then maybe after 10-15 minutes reading, then I got all ecstatical symptoms of prema, Ashta Sattvic Vikar. Like my voice was choked, tears are coming out, shivering, hair standing, all ecstatical symptoms, and I could not speak anything further. I could not read any further. Only I was getting that ecstasy. Then seeing that, Parangurudev stopped him. Okay, stop. Then Parangurudev told him, so who is Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He is not ordinary householder. He is personal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His writings are not ordinary writings. They are transcendental sound. They are coming from Golok Vrindavan. Because in this Kalyan Kalpataru in beginning, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I brought this from Vaikuntha down. Even himself he is admitting. So then he explained to him his personal associate. You should have faith in him. Then after our Gurudev told us that, of course Gurudev is teaching by example, through him teaching, that he said, when I joined the mat, I left house. So we are now ascetics. So how our Guru can be Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He is a household devotee. How he can be our Guru? This kind of doubt I had in mind. So noticing that, my Gurudev made that arrangement for me, that he showed me that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not ordinary householder, like attached to house, wife, children, this money, or no. His personal Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is very, all writings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur are transcendental, but that Kalyan Kalpataru is very nice. There are songs teaching the mind. So here Rishabdev is saying, no, Shukadev Goswami is saying, the mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion and fear. When you conquer mind, when you see above the mind, then there is no fear, because you are in soul consciousness. When you are under the influence of mind, then all these things are there automatically, and all doubts and everything. But when you cross over by the grace of Krishna, then you can see beyond. And there is no, everything is very clear, no doubt, nothing, no fear. That is why our Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj said, you have to repeat Namam all the time. Then by Nam Prabhu's grace, you can get that. You can conquer all this, mind and everything, and all doubts removed. At that time also, when you get transcendental realization, there is no question whether that was my mind or that was real, or what I got from my heart that is real, or it is coming from, there is no such question. Because that time in transcendental realization, you are aware of your mind, and the mind is responsible for all the doubts. But at that time you are above mind, and mind is subordinate. So there is no such question, is coming from my mind or not. Because that is direct perception, direct vision of transcendental reality. And the mind, you are conscious of that mind. Mind is also illuminated by that transcendental realization. So there is no question, is coming from. If you, like once, one devotee asked Srila Bhakti Sadak Muni Maharaj. He said, I got something, but now I don't know that is coming from my mind or it is coming from Krishna. Then Muni Maharaj clearly he told him, if you are having this question, it means it is from your mind. Because when transcendental realization, there is no question, this sort of question. So combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind? No learned man, means realized soul, puts faith in the mind. Mind is cheater. It distorts the reality, and he puts you in doubts, and all these are natural. Lust, anger, everything. Ataivam akila lokapala lalamo pi vilakshaner jaravat avadhuta vesha bhasha chariter avilakshita bhagavat prabhavo yoginam samparaya vidim anushikshayam sva kalevaram jihasur atmani atmanam asam vyavahitam anartantara bhave nan vikshamana uparatanu vritir upararama. There also in Kalyankalpataru, there are teachings to the mind, and there are different sections. Then at the end also he's explaining little about Vrindavan, and in his spiritual forum, then he's telling, then I heard the flute, I went there, and then he's about to describe Raslila pastime, but then he says, my pen does not want to write anything further. Considering the benefit of those who are not qualified, I am stopping here. Anadikar, those who don't have adhikar. So he stopped. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also showed by his own example that Shringara Rasa and these things, that is not for everyone and not for public. He said, I don't know why, but my pen is not writing further. Then he said, now I understand, because some Anadikar people there. But it's very nice. Whole story is there in Kalyankalpataru. That song about Joga Maya is there, and Jannava, prayer to Jannava, and another some Vaishnava songs. Let's see. Lord Rishabdev was the head of all kings and emperors within this universe, but assuming the dress and language of an Avadut, he acted as if dull and materially bound. Consequently, no one could observe his divine opulence. He adopted this behavior just to teach yogis how to give up the body. Nonetheless, he maintained his original position as a plenary expansion of Lord Vasudeva Krishna. Remaining always in that state, he gave up his pastimes as Lord Rishabdev within the material world. If following in the footsteps of Lord Rishabdev, one can give up his subtle body, there is no chance that one will accept a material body again. There is only one way to be liberated. Here Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj is telling in commentary, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktan deha punarjanma naitimam etis Arjuna. One who knows about Krishna, his transcendental birth and activities, in truth, means he realized, means he is a devotee. So a devotee can give up body and will not take again. Tava swalpa spurti pai ugra tapa dure jai linga bhanga khoyanaya se. If slight appearance of Harinam happens, that will remove all great sufferings and will destroy subtle body. And then with pure name, you will get your spiritual form and you can go back home, back to Godhead, never to be born again. Tasya hava evam muktalingasya bhagavatarishabhasya jogamaya vasanaya deha imam jagatim abhimana bhasena sankramamanaha konka venka kutakan dakshina karnatakan deshan yadri chayo pagataha kutaka chalo pavana asya kritashma kavala unmada iva muktamurdajo samvita eva vichachara. Actually, Lord Rishadev had no material body, but due to Jogamaya, he considered his body material, and therefore, because he played like an ordinary human being, he gave up the mentality of identifying with it. By example, like Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is not having material body, but playing pastime. That is why you have his Samadhi Mandir there. But Rasikananda Dev, he entered into Gopinath Diti. There is no body left in this world. That is transcendental body, but they are playing pastime, like giving up. Or we heard Gopal Guru Goswami yesterday was Bakreshwar Pandit's appearance. So his disciple is Gopal Guru Goswami. And Gopal Guru Goswami was in charge of Radhakanta Math, and his disciple is Dhyan Chandra Goswami. So before his disappearance, he told, you take over this Radhakanta Math. So then he died, and was in cremation ground. At that time, government came and they said to Dhyana Chandra, there is so much wealth here, but there is no accounting. There is no proof, no accounting. So we will take over this. We will close this. It is illegal. You have to give us account of this, all this wealth, in written form. Then Dhyana Chandra was crying. That time, Gopal Guru Goswami again rose up. Already he died, like we think he died. But he again rose and then solved that problem, wrote down, and then again he went to die and he was cremated. And then again, after some time, they saw him, Gopal Guru Goswami, he was doing bhajan in Vrindavan, same form, doing bhajan. Then they were surprised, oh Gurudev, you are here, you come to Puri then. They said, no, I'm not going to Puri, but you can make one deity, my deity, from wood you make, that you worship. So they are not ordinary persons. Rupa Sanatan already they disappeared, they left body. You have both samadhis of Sanatan Goswami in Vrindavan and Rupa Goswami. But when Narottam Thakur was going to Vrindavan, they both appeared to Narottam Thakur and gave him milk to drink. How this is possible? Because they are not, our Gurudev told, they are not limited. They are not conditioned souls. They don't have material body. They are not limited. They can do anything. So Rishabdev has no material body, but playing like ordinary human being. Following this principle, he began to wander all over the world. While traveling, he came to the province of Karnataka in South India and passed through Konka, Venka and Kutaka. He had no plan to travel this way, but he arrived near Kutakachala and entered a forest there. He placed stones within his mouth and began to wander through the forest, naked and with his hair disheveled like a madman. Atha Samira Vega Viduta Venu Vikarshana Jatogra Davanala Stat Vanam Ale Lichanach Saha Tena Dadaha. While he was wandering about, a wild forest began. This fire was caused by the friction of bamboos, which were being blown by the wind. In that fire, the entire forest near Kutakachala and the body of Lord Rishabdev were burned to ashes. That is Leela of his disappearance. Like Krishna was shot by arrow to foot, then he died. Atheistic people, they think like this. But those who have transcendent eyes, they can see it is Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared in 3 different ways. All are real. He showed to different devotees different disappearance pastime. To some, he showed that he entered into Tota Gopinath Diti inside. To some, he showed that he entered into Jagannath Diti. To some, he showed that he entered into ocean and never to be seen again. So there is no samadhi of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he played such pastime. Yasya kila nucharitam upakarnya kanka venka kutakanam rajarhan namo pashikshya kalau adharma utkrishyamane bhavi tavyena vimohitaha swadharma potam akuto bhayam apahaya kupata pakhandam asamanjasam nija manishaya mandah sampravarta yishyate. Shukadev Goswami continued speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. My dear king, the king of Konka, Venka and Kutaka, whose name was Arhat, heard the activities of Rishabdev and imitating Rishabdeva's principles, introduced a new system of religion. Taking advantage of Kali Yuga, the age of sinful activity, King Arhat, being bewildered, gave up the Vedic principles, which are free from risk, and concocted a new system of religion opposed to the Vedas. That was the beginning of Jain Dharma. Many other so-called religions followed this atheistic system. Because he imitated, not followed, but imitated. So you have also in Kali Yuga, you have many Apasampradayas. They're saying, we are like Mahaprabhu, we are preaching that, but they are doing wrong. They are opposed to Mahaprabhu's teaching. So this was also opposed to Vedic principles, beginning of Jain Dharma. Jains still there. They are atheistic, like Buddhists. They are very particular about not committing violence to any living entity because they want liberation. So they are also keeping that mask all the time, not to inhale any insects or something. They not killed. They give all importance to non-violence, but nothing positive. No service of Krishna is there. So that is not Vedic teaching. Many other so-called religions followed this atheistic system. Yena havava kalau manuja pasada deva maya mohita swavidi niyoga shaucha charitra vihina deva helanani apavratani nija nijechaya grihnana asnana na chama na shaucha keshor lunchana dini kalina dharma bahuleno pahata dhiyo brahmana yagya purusha loka vidushaka prayena bhavishyanti. People who are lowest among men and bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord will give up the original Varna Ashram Dharma and its rules and regulations. they will abandon bathing 3 times daily and worshipping the Lord. Abandoning cleanliness and neglecting the Supreme Lord, they will accept nonsensical principles. Not regularly bathing or washing their mouths regularly, they will always remain unclean, and they will pluck out their hair. Following a concocted religion, they will flourish. During this age of Kali, people are more inclined to irreligious systems. Consequently, these people will naturally deride Vedic authority, and followers of Vedic authority, the Brahmanas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotees. Here in the commentary, Srila A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj is telling, presently the hippies in the Western countries fit this description. Means no cleanliness and doing sense gratification anywhere. There are many hippie groups at present moment, but they all originated from King Arhat, who imitated the activist Lord Rishabdev, who was situated in the Paramahansa stage. I heard in one darshan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj in 1992. That time he did not yet go to Western countries, but he told, I heard from Srila Swami Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, that in America they are men and women, they are doing in the park, in daytime, they're doing everything. So Puri Maharaj, there is no culture there. He was explaining about Indian culture, because someone was asking why God appeared only in India, not in other places. Then Puri Goswami Maharaj said, because you have no culture there. Here there is culture. And then he was explaining what he heard from Srila A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, what they are doing there. And it is becoming worse and worse. So, but if some realized soul comes, then he can inspire us to start chanting Harinam, and gradually that cleanliness also will follow, and not washing mouth, eating and touching everything, and that is not cleanliness. So he told Bhaktivinoda Puri Maharaj, that time he did not yet go to West, he said, for these Westerners it will take some more time. In India, quickly they can grasp because they have some culture, some background, but for Westerners, you have to be little lenient and little, you cannot be so rigid with them, not very heavy, strict rules and rigid. Little you have to be lenient, and it will take some more time for them to come to pure level. So, Kali people are more inclined to irreligious systems. Consequently, these people will naturally deride Vedic authority, the followers of Vedic authority, the Brahmanas, the Supreme Personality of God, and the devotees. He said that you Westerners, you are strongheads, for you have no sacrifice, no surrender, only you quarrel all the time for small things, you quarrel. And he said, I told to Sai Maharaj, you should not disappear now. 10 more years you have to remain, because they are very strong heads and they will quarrel. And you made 11 gurus, then they will fight. Guru should be one. Then he said, I made Ritviks, like for my time. Then Puri Maharaj said, yes, but after you, they will be gurus. Then he said, what I can do. But later on, Puri Maharaj said, if he was thinking, if he would make one guru, then everyone will fight with him. So at least he little dispersed, give chance to many. there will be less fighting. And then Puri Maharaj said, because you are strong heads, you cannot submit, you cannot surrender, you cannot sacrifice. So it will take some time. For you. You have to chant Harinam and associate with devotees, and it will take some time to bring to the standard, culture standard. Te cha hyarvaktanaya nija loka yatrayanda parampara yashvastas tamasyande swayam eva prapatisyanti. Low-class people, due to their gross ignorance, introduce a system of religion that deviates from the Vedic principles. Following their own mental concoctions, they automatically fall down into the darkest regions of existence. Ayam avataro raja sopapluta kaivalyo pashikshanartaha. In this age of Kali, people are overwhelmed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Lord Rishabdev incarnated himself to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. So there is chance Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appeared for our deliverance. So there is chance, and he ordered his personal associates to spread this teaching all over. So there is chance for everyone, but Srila Bhakti Maharaj said that for Westerners it will take some more time because they are strong heads. They cannot submit. Tasyanu gunan shlokan gayanti aho bhuvah sapta samudravatya dvipeshu varsheshu adhi punyam etat gayanti yatratya jana murare karmani badrani avatara vanti. Learned scholars chant about the transcendental qualities of Lord Rishabdev in this way. Oh, this earthly planet contains 7 seas and many islands and lands, of which Bharatavarsha is considered the most pious. People of Bharatavarsha are accustomed to glorifying the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnations as Lord Rishabdev and others. All these activities are very auspicious for the welfare of humanity. This also Srila Bhakti was explaining about India. It is different than any other place in the world because there is sacrifice, and he was explaining examples, and from Mahabharata, from Ramayana, he said you don't have such stories in West. And from Mahaprabhu's associates he spoke. So that is our Gurudev also told. He was traveling everywhere. He said nowhere like India. In India now it is becoming little degraded, but still it is different than anywhere else because that tradition and that is there. Sacrifice. So Srila Bhakti Maharaj was making comparison, answering that question, making comparison. Then he said, you don't have such stories there. Then he mentioned something which I don't want to mention. He said, you have only those, and they're controlling everything by money, and they're controlling. So that is there. But we are fortunate that those sadhus, here it is written in commentary, Bharata bhumite hoilo manusya janma jar, janma sarta kori koro parupakar. Those who are born in India, they should make their life successful. Then they should help all others. So we are fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered his personal associates, you go and preach all over the world so we can get this devotion to Krishna. It is already there in heart. It only needs to be awakened by proper devotee. So they are coming and they are preaching Harinam Sankirtan, and also these rules and regulations and cleanliness that is gradually improving with time and chanting and prasad, and that is enough. So tomorrow we'll further hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shishi Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shishi Radha Nayananath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guruvare ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashana Kari Shri Nrishingadev ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Brinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Brinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Rishabh Dev Bhagavan ki Jai. Jai Shri SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Bol. Thank you all. Dandot Pranam. Hari Bol.